Yo, the lies told that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, hands open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lies and sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose when I get to, never lose move on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never this way. We indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.
Yes. Welcome one, welcome all, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Lion Villain Report. I am your host, Russell Wayne. And how are you all doing? I needed my music today. I needed to get myself into a mental headspace right now. And here we are broadcasting live into the Lions Villain Squad Facebook page. We have 53,000. I don't know if we're going to cross over to 54,000 during this show right here. And our awesome network of villains that are out there. Actually, I'm checking that right now to see if we have crossed over 54,000. I wanted to see how close we are. Oh, it's so close. It's so close. We're 15 people away from crossing over 54,000 people in the Villain Squad. We're broadcasting live into our YouTube page. We need some help right there. We need you to subscribe. If you're watching on the Facebook page, go over to the YouTube page and subscribe to the YouTube page. And while you're at it, Detroit Lions News Podcast with Joe Chapp and the boys over there doing a great job. They got 77,000 Lion fans that are in their network. Thank you for allowing us to broadcast right there. The Villain Report is brought to you by our affiliate marketing partners, NFL Shop. Use the Villain code right there so you can get one of them sweet black jerseys. Get one of them sweet black jerseys right there, Jahmyr Gibbs style, because I believe that they are going to be wearing those black jerseys on Monday Night Football. They've been teasing that. I don't know if they're going to do that, but I want to say hello to my compadres in here. What's up, Henry Gray? Good morning to Lions family and the Villain Squad. One pride. Fred Peterson in the house. Good morning. It's a great day to be a Lion. It's always a great day to be a Lion fan. Davey, good morning. One pride. It takes more. Good morning to all. Yes. And here's one of my favorite ones right there. Dwayne, let's go Lions. One pride. King of the North Division. Let's put it up. Let's put it up. Boom. King of the North Division. Just like Dwayne says right there, the King of the North. Next man up for the job. And right there, and if you don't know already, it's at Lions Villain Squad. If you're looking for the YouTube page, I hear that the interactive commenting in there is also better on the YouTube. So there you go. Is Ragnow injured and out? Yes, he did have a partially torn pectoral muscle. And that is considered day-to-day, week-to-week. To me, with the bye coming up after this next Monday's game, I say you move Graham Glasgow into center, bring in Awasika, and let Frank Ragnow rest that so we can have him for the long haul. You know, let him rest up. I mean, he's probably going to be in a position where they're going to be a game time decision with Ragnow. And with the bye coming up, it's like, let's just go out there. Why don't they just go into it knowing, see if Frank can go. But, I mean, if he can go, he's going to go. But, you know, as a precaution, to me, I would think if you got Graham Glasgow who can switch in and be the center, he's an okay center. I mean, we're definitely going to have to change the game plan a little bit right there, having him out. But it's a big game coming up on Monday night. I'm not sure if Frank Ragnow's willing to miss it. But, you know, if it were up to me, I would say rest him. It's a long season. You know, let him heal up the best that it can go. I mean, next man up's been the mentality, right? Good morning, villains. What's up, Paul Jones? What's up, Brian? David, what's up? David's in the house. Share this out, villains. That's what Paul Jones says. We're going to try to get this network and get it big, full of villains. You know, and the bigger this network goes, you know, Mike and I want to do some good with this page. This isn't all about, you know, Lion fanboy stuff right here. We want to be able to use this page for good. And we are all Lion fans. We're going to stay up with all the current news. That's just kind of what we do. But we want to be able to do stuff like this and support my wife's page. And my wife is an advocate for autism awareness. And we've actually developed our STARS program. If you comment using STARS, you're going to be helping my wife get resources out to parents that have children with special needs. So my wife's doing all the good stuff out there. She's looking to be a resource for mothers that are, you know, especially in the Genesee County area. She shares out resources and stuff like that. So if you comment with STARS, just know that you're going to be supporting my wife's page, and I appreciate that. And she is an advocate for autism awareness. I have a 5-year-old son that I'm going to get off the bus here in a minute right there. So thank you for saying that. Share that out to the villain. It isn't all about just the Lions football, even though it is. It's PFF Tuesday, baby. It's PFF Tuesday. It's PFF Tuesday, and we're going to look at all the nerdy stats, and that's why we got Jeremy Ballrick in here. Ragnow gets a 99.9 8.9 with a torn pec. Now, Jeremy and I, we're big into all the nerdy stats. We love the nerdy stats. And talking more about, the injury situation, it's been next man up, guys. We've known this. That's why we love the depth of our team. I said at the beginning of the season that I believe that from 1 to 69, that I think this is the best roster in the NFL from 1 to 69. And it's going to get tested. It did get tested. No Alex Anzalone. Linebackers played out of this world. Great. Ben Neiman came in for a couple. That's a Jeremy Ballwright guy. Ben Neiman. Like, we got next man up mentality. Oh my God. Davenport's out for the whole season. What are we going to do? We have depth. You drafted Josh Paschal in the second round. He's going to get a shot. You're going to get a shot to step up. No, don't go out and overreact right now. You don't need to go spend a bunch of money on some outside guys. Don't worry about it. The guys that have been here and practicing, it's the next man up. I believe that. What do you think about that? Do you believe that too? Elise Memes, the queen of memes, is in the house. She says, "Good morning, villains. I'm feeling like such a homer for this team today. It's a great day to be a Lions fan." And thank you. My wife is amazing. She is amazing. And, I'll be damned if I'm just going to be on a football page here, just homering football all day. We're going to do some good. We're going to do some good in the world. And we have some things, some irons in the fire. Getting some sponsorship. So you can go in that spot that says NFL Shop. If you have a business, hit us up. Hit us up in the messenger. There's a good opportunity this year. There's a lot of Lion fans that are out there. And we're trying to reach as many people as possible. Jeremy Ballreich says, Frank Ragnow, my vote for the toughest SOB in the NFL. The guy he'd play with one arm. He'd take his arm off and hit the other team with it. Frank Ragnow, Frank the Tank. That's why that was my jersey. I got to get my jersey for this year. It was Frank the Tank. Because he embodies the identity of this team. He embodies that. The grit. The whole never back down. Joseph says that the PFF grades make no sense at times. The grades don't match the eyeball test. The methodology is flawed. I don't agree with that. I think that the PFF grades tell a story, but they don't tell the whole story. I think that the PFF can be used as kind of like seasoning. After you've looked at it, then you can look at the PFF grades and see where some of these things are. So we're going to go through it anyway. I hope that you, the people that are on here, like the PFF grades right there. As you can see, this is what we like to see. This is where we know that the offense is running well. When the top players, you got Penei Sewell, and this is just overall offense right here. Penei Sewell, Kevin Zeitler, Sam Laporta was good in both run blocking and pass blocking. Frank Ragnow. And then you see Jared Goff in there with a good game, right? He threw a bad pick, okay? He had one really, really bad throw, but he was perfect in the first half. It was 14 for 14. But the main reason that happens is because your top players on this team have been for a few years your offensive linemen. And when your offensive linemen are playing good, wow, it goes to show that the rest of the people are going to do well too. Even Taylor Decker had a good game. I mean, really, when you're over 65, Like 65 is right as that like average play according to PFF. Right there. Let's see the best pass blockers. Look at that. Graham Glasgow, Taylor Decker, all these guys with 80 PFF grades right there. Brock Wright, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. Look at that. Look at that. Even Dan Skipper had an okay game. Now, in run blocking, not so much. Of course, Penei Sewell's always here. Penei Sewell's the best player on this football team. I dig what Penei Sewell represents right there. He's just the man. And then Frank Ragnow right there too. Sam Laporta, run blocking. But some of the other offensive linemen didn't play so well. You know, Dan Skipper didn't have a good game run blocking. You know, Graham Glasgow was okay. You know, you want to see those guys performing a little bit better. So you can almost see that happening, like when you look at the game and how it was. Like if you're looking at that game offensively, I mean, you wish that you could take a picture of the first half and just say, "Hey, can we play like this all the time?" And I think a lot of that was play calling because I hated it. It was like in the third quarter, we're up by 10 points and we're driving, and it would be like David Montgomery would rush for like 5 yards, and then they would try this fancy play, a toss sweep or something with mismotion to the trying to get, and it's like, come on, man. Like, I'm old school too. I want to bite a kneecap. So I'm wishing that the play calling goes more towards that. Like, I'm gonna run the ball right off that guard in between Penei Sewell and Zeitler, and I'm gonna run right off that guy until you stop me. I don't even want to get sexy. I don't want to show you all my plays for the whole season. Here, we're going to see if you can stop this right off tackle run with David Montgomery, and we're going to do that. And we're going to keep doing that shit until you stop me from doing that shit. That's the way I played Madden football, and it would work good. You wouldn't have to bring out the super plays. And then every once in a while, you pull that ball back and then, wow, take a shot. Take a shot. Sabrina says, yes, PFFFT. Yes, I love PFF Tuesday. You know, but I am feeling that. When you say that PFF it's not the end all be all. PFF is, it's a tool. And one of the things I do love about PFF is it actually grades the offensive linemen. Jeremy says, with Barnes out for a while, I'd like to see Nowosky play. Yeah, we're pretty deep at linebacker. We have plenty of guys, even the guys on the practice squad can play. They got a good trained regime. Over the last 3 years, they've built up good practice squad, and those guys are dependable. I mean, you saw it. Barnes goes out. I mean, you're in there with Reeves-Maben and a little bit of Neiman. And, they got guys. We have a 72-man roster. We'll be fine. Also want to see Ukwu. And there you go. It's like almost some of those players, it's like as much as we wanted to see Davenport work out, and I know Mike was really rooting for him. I never really believed in it. I mean, the guy plays good when he plays, but he's never been able to put it together for a whole season. I mean, at least they were paying him on an incentive, and it doesn't hurt the team cap-wise. And, and I hope he gets better soon. My thoughts, my prayers go out to Davenport to heal. He is a human being. I know everybody told me about the injury concerns, and we already knew this. We knew this. Joseph said PFF does make no sense at times, and I agree with that. Sometimes it doesn't show up. You know, like Josh Pascal. Like if we go in, let's look at this defense right here. Josh Pascal had a low PFF grade. Let's go in there and look at this. You know, Josh Pascal, 41.3. But then they had that one BS that unsportsmanlike conduct. Penalties, they grade harshly on the penalties when it comes with PFF scores. But let's look at some of these defensive scores here. And no doubt Aiden Hutchinson's up there on that defensive score. And the thing is like he was, with 6 hurries, and he had a sack and a hit. Honestly, I thought that his PFF score was going to be in the 90s. So this is where I can side with Joseph. I can side with Joseph because sometimes that make no sense. It looked like Aiden Hutchinson was living in the backfield. And there's a PFF grade of 82.2. And your pass rush grade, 83.3 for Hutchinson. But here's one thing I'd like to, I'm going to itemize the Lions defense right here by tackling. And I want to show you something here. I mean, you look at this. Look at this. All of these grades right here that are higher, that's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players in the tackling grade that have positive grades. And that's a good thing, especially when you're talking about cornerbacks. You want a team that can tackle, and it's no wonder that the Lions defense is playing well. That's a telling stat right there. And now in coverage, you're looking at these guys and those are kind of average. You want to see that be a little bit better, but the Lions are better in coverage. These are numbers that were constantly in the 50s, 40s last year. So when you got a team that's really good at getting to the quarterback, the secondary's got to get used to each other. And it seems like they continue to get better in the coverage. And pass rushing, I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing from all of the pass rushers. It's like the Lions have a nice, healthy blend of pass rushers. Yeah, and some of these don't make that much sense, And the pass rushing, when you're looking at like Mekhi Wingo, he only gets a 57.3 pass rushing grade, but he had 2 hurries in the game. And I thought that he affected the game. That was a really good showing by Mekhi Wingo, getting 28 snaps. He got 23 shots at the quarterback. And Mekhi Wingo's got that he's a lighter defensive tackle, quote on or slash pass rusher. Jeremy, what we talk about reader here makes no let's see. Larry says that I've said it since cans. We're loaded, and if we stay relatively healthy, we'll be fine. Injuries hit every team, but not every team is loaded. Yeah, the thing is like now you're on the second line of defense with your loaded team. So you don't want to suffer more. You don't want to go through more and more and more. Where the hell? Damn it. I lost my spot. How did Terrion rank so low when he didn't even miss a tackle? Yeah, I don't know. That don't make sense, does it? That don't make sense. Let's look at that. At Terry Arnold down here. Tackling. I mean, maybe he's in the wrong spot. I don't know. Maybe it's because of the touchdown that was given up to it. So I don't know. They don't like Terry Arnold yet. He was good in the run defense. It's like when you're in the 60s, that just reminds me, it's like, it's not looked at like, I don't look at it like a bad thing. Really, even in the 50s, it's like sometimes your day isn't, filled with excitement. Sometimes you're just in the right spot, but nothing really happened near you. And I think a lot of players fall in that category where it's like, they were in the right place, but it wasn't, they couldn't have affected the play. David said Davenport was a calculated risk. Fred Peterson says, I'm sick of hearing about Davenport and his injuries and how Brad Holmes is a dollar store GM. Brad builds through the draft, and he gets a guy like Davenport to be the bridge players. He gets them on the cheap. So let's explore that part for a second. I want to bring something up for you guys. So let me I want to bring up the over the cap. Oh, come on. Don't give me a hard time here. And then let's explore this Davenport thing, because Davenport might just be playing, this whole thing plays right into Brad Holmes' scheme and how they want to do these things. So here's the salary cap thing. Let me bring it over here so I can see it here. Okay. Davenport. There you are. Marcus Davenport right here. So where he's getting the roster bonuses, where he's getting all his money, he's only getting $2.5 million in guaranteed money there. And then he got a signing bonus. So they paid him, $4.5 million, whatever, almost $5 million. And then he gets per game bonuses that he plays in at $850,000. And that's where he's going to get that. That's where he's going to get the bulk of that money. And that's a good calculated risk when it comes to what Brad Holmes did. Now, is it a calculated risk? Yes, it's a calculated risk, but we're not screwed now because of it. He got some upfront bonus money. He got some money right up front that didn't count as much against our cap, and then they gave him incentives to where he could earn. I mean, he could have earned up to like $15 million with us. I mean, why not? Get him in the incentive. Hey, if you play in 16 games and you can get that $850,000 every time, he could have had that's a nice little chunk of extra change right there, but he can't stay healthy. So he took the risk off of the table. So Brad Holmes deserves some credit for that. And here's the thing. He drafted, and to your point right there, the point that you just made is that you're building through the draft, just like Fred says here. You're building through the draft. Josh Pascal is the guy that you drafted in the second round to be the guy that Marcus Davenport is to you. So the question is do you believe in the development of Brad Holmes players? So for all Hassan Reddick, you need to go out and trade for Hassan Reddick. You need to go out there and spend draft capital. What the hell are we doing here? He's drafting and developing players. Why would you go outside of the organization to try to find a pass rusher right now. When when Josh Pascal's right there, he just needs snaps. Like when you look at his PFF grades right there, Josh Pascal had 18 snaps in week 3. That's going to go up. You're a third-year player now. We drafted you. We developed you. Last year, the Okora brothers were in there. That was a mess. This year, you brought in a Band-Aid version of Davenport. You know, you're 3 games in, and there you go. Pascal, you're going to get your chance. Mekhi Wingo, you're going to get more snaps. Mekhi Wingo had 28 snaps. And actually, that he might be the next guy up. I mean, he's got some pass rushing skills, Mekhi Wingo. He's getting pressure on the quarterback. So how worried are you about these injuries? I'm not really all that worried about the Davenport injury. Jeremy says 2 QB hurries with 28 snaps, never took a double team. And he was pancaked on 10 of those snaps. Are we talking about, we're talking about Mekhi Wingo, right? Davenport also has more pressures, right, now than any other player that are paid 5 times his pay. Let's see where Davenport is. Davenport he didn't have any hurries and 1 tackle in the last game. And that's what I'm looking at, right? Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. I'm looking through here. I was just looking at that. Yeah, Mekhi Wingo had 28 snaps. And did he got pancaked? Oh, poor. Davenport got $6.5 million a year, and that's $3 million guaranteed. We also got Davenport cheap because he still had money to pay out on. But Pascal is not the guy. He hasn't fixed up his billing yet. Well, I don't know. They seem to like Pascal. And I think that they're going to bring up Ukwu. And, you know, all I can go by is like, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on here. Like, I don't watch tape and look at bend or anything like that. I listen to what Dan Campbell says about the players. I listen to the tone of voice that he talks about these players with. And I think that they have the utmost confidence in the progression of the players. I think Josh Pascal is going to step into that spot. And at the very least, he's going to set the edge in the run defense. And you drafted him in the 2nd round. You want to see what Josh Pascal is going to do. Fred Peterson says, I heard another podcaster talking about trading next year's 1st-round pick for a DN. Shaking my head. We don't want another trade. It's not going to happen. I mean, the podcasters can talk about it all they want. But, you know, I'm not a football expert, but I am pretty good at reading people. And when I listen to how they speak, and this man right here does not put the high value on the free agency and the guys that you're going to pull in from outside the organization. Brad Holmes believes in drafting and developing. He believes, like what Jeremy says right here. Jeremy says, bring up Ukwu. And that's what they do. He's on the practice squad. Ukwu has more value to the Lions right now than any free agent or any acquisition that they could bring in from the outside. I mean, I heard some of the comments too. I heard some of the people talking about a couple of the articles about trying to trade for Trey Hendrickson because Cincinnati's a dumpster fire and they might want to get rid of him. I mean, if that's what they're talking about, stop it. Stop it. And if they did do that, you would like it. I think it would be a splash, very uncharacteristic of what I think the Lions are going to do, because that's where you save your money. I mean, we have confidence in Penei Sewell and Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown and the players that we're going to extend long term. But if you're going to extend those and keep those really, really good players, you're not going to be able to keep them all. How are you going to sign Barnes, McNeil, and Levi? You're not. You're not going to re-sign all of those guys. I think that you may keep, one or two of them, but it's Ukwu. Ukwu, that's where you make your money. You need to get the hit on these guys that know your system, that aren't going to embarrass you when they go out there and they play, that cost $1.50. They're not going to go out and get a high-priced guy. People, stop. They have some money, but they want to pay the guys that are on the inside of the building. You're going to have to pay for Aiden Hutchinson. And you're going to need to get that done sooner than later, because that's only going to get more expensive. So the minute that Hutchinson is, ready to go for a contract, he's got to be the next on that list. But this is a good thing, guys. This isn't a bad thing. When you're looking at a fluid salary cap, that's what you want, is you want a fluid salary cap. Because when you're looking at this, it's like you're going to lose some certain players sooner than later. When you get to the end of, where you need to do this Jared Goff thing, where that in 2026, you're going to have options to move off from some of your older players that you're spending a lot of money on. I love you, David Montgomery. But in 2026, these are some things that are going to come off of that cap. I love the addition of Carlton Davis. He's been a good addition. He's been better than Jerry Jacobs. But he ain't going to be here long term. They drafted Ennis the Menace Rakestraw, and they got those guys on rookie contracts. So I'm no capologist, but I do love following the cap and following the real parts of the moves, right? Because, hey, Jeremy, you remember this. When they signed Davenport, it's like they want to give you the max value of the contract and put that on the bulletin board. Davenport can make up to $13 million. And then 2 days later, some guy like me comes along and says, let me help you understand this. Let me help you understand how this Davenport thing works. How did that $6.5 million break down, Jeremy? It comes down to the signing bonus with the base salary mixed with whatever roster bonuses they're going to get. And then here's your incentive part. This part doesn't even, this was the most important part, that $850,000 per game. But now He's not going to get that part, which means that the Lions are only on the hook for what they paid out. And the bonus money, the cool thing is it doesn't count as much against the cap because they could extend it. And we've had this, we've done this plenty of times. And the thing is, like, we're here to help. We're here to help in that way because what's the real of the real? And, you know, they can get that guaranteed money. And to me, it's a calculated risk. It didn't work. It didn't work. But if you can get Davenport production for the whole season, it was worth the risk. But what it did do is it bought Josh Pascal three more weeks of training and preparation. Because if you can see, you know, he didn't have a great PFF score last week, but in week 2, he was okay. Where'd you go, Mr. Pascal? He was more in the middle, right there. He didn't have a bad game. But here's the thing, you know, 13 snaps in week 1. Where are you at, Mr. Pascal? Maybe he didn't play. Okay, there you go. He had 22 snaps in the first game. Week 3, Pascal only played 18 snaps. And you know that most of the reason why they grade really hard in PFF on penalties. And Josh Pascal had that one on sportsmanlike conduct penalty. I think that really hurt his score, but he was pretty good in the last game. That they at least the coaching staff seemed like they were impressed with what Josh Pascal is bringing to the table in limited snaps. So he's going to get an uptick. He's going to get some more snaps. You know, Mekhi Wingo is going to get some more snaps. So you're developing these players. They'll probably bring somebody else up too. Jonathan says that they need to extend Hutchinson now. I don't think they're allowed to yet. I think that the minute that he's able to be, because this is what, his 3rd year, right? I think after this year, they're allowed to do that. I don't know. Help me on that, Jeremy. But I'm pretty sure that not Josh Pass, but Aiden Hutchinson, I don't think they're allowed to extend him yet. I think that they do have to go through 3 full years. Okay. Yep. So my memory served me correct. It's the 4th year. You can go in there, and I mean, the minute that can get done, I think the Lions are going to get it done. I think that's like going to be the biggest offseason thing. I think he will jump Aleem on that list. If Aleem can't get done this offseason, or not this offseason, but sometime during the season, which I don't see it. I think there's a chance, like, because it went into the season, and we're going to get to the end of the season, there's a chance that we could lose Aleem McNeil. There's a chance that we may lose Derek Barnes or Ifeatu Melifonwu. Aleem will get done. They're in talks still, but the last that I heard, they're not even close. Like, it's not even close with Aleem. And that's the thing. It's like, the part where I'm starting to not believe in Aleem getting signed as much as that it went into the season, because this is Aleem's final year. So he's, you know, this is do or die for him. He's either going to get this contract. We got a little window at the end of the season in between to where we're allowed to sign our own players. But the thing is like when we get into that off-season time, when that new season clicks over, that's where Hutchinson is going to be available for an extension. And I would think that immediately, Jeremy, and I could be wrong. You can disagree with me, but I think that immediately Hutchinson jumps Aleem on priority. I think there's a chance that Aleem gets to free agency. And it's a chance. It's a chance. You know, it's not just Aleem McNeil. Levi Onwuzurike is going to be up for a contract this year. Ifeatu Melifonwu is up for a contract this year. And all of these guys are slated to be free agency, go to free agents. Now, if they lose these guys and these guys go to other places and sign big contracts, then that's where we start playing the compensatory draft pick game. Because if we lose these players and we have the next man up on the roster and we don't go out and sign another free agent, we can start recouping some draft capital for these free agencies that we're most likely going to lose. Wow, that's a conversation I didn't even think about getting into here, Jeremy. Like, who is it? Because we're not going to be able to sign all these guys. Aleem is up for the contract. Levi. You got Ifeatu Melifonwu. You got Derek Barnes. All four of these guys are in contract years. They're not going to sign all four of these guys. I mean, honestly, I'm thinking one, maybe two. I'm thinking more like it's going to be one. You're going to have to choose one out of all four of those guys that they're going to be able to re-sign long term. Because they're all good players. They're all going to go get money. And that's not even mentioning the fact what Jonathan says right here. The minute that Hutchinson is able to get us an extension, he's going to climb to the front of that list. Dwayne says that Brad Holmes can do it. He's a genius about the contracts. I agree with that, but he's also a genius with how to keep a fluid salary cap. Because if you believe in your back end of the roster, especially when it's like these linebackers, you know, I mean, do you have an ample replacement for Derek Barnes already on the roster? We're going to find out. Do we have an ample replacement for Aleem McNeil on the roster? We're going to find out. You know, here's Broderick Martin, right? You got DJ Reader for 2 years. Broderick Martin is on a $1.50 contract. Fluid salary cap, guys, is the replacement for the player on the team long term. If you believe in the development of your players, then the answer is yes. You got Mekhi Wingo. You got Broderick Martin. These are the next men up in the situation. And Broderick Martin looked great in preseason. He went on that Aleem McNeil diet, yoga and shit. It's yoga. And he lost some of that weight, put on the strength. And that was what we knew. He came from Western Kentucky or something like that. You know, it's like Colby Sorsdahl. It's like, don't give up on these guys after, developing. Look at what Derek Barnes did. Everybody gave up on Derek Barnes after the first year. Let these guys get in the system and work. So What else we got? Ifeatu Melifonwu. I mean, he gave me a good shout out on this show. I love it. I don't know if they're going to be able to re-sign him. I don't know if they're going to be able to re-sign him. Because like I said, those are the 4 players that are up for contracts. And the minute that Hutchinson is eligible to sign, he's going to go to the front of that list. He's going to go to the front. Well, this is PFF Tuesday. Right here, we're going over some of the PFF scores. If you have any questions, you know, you want me to look up somebody specifically, just let me know. I mean, I got them all right here. One of the things I love about this Lions defense is we got cornerbacks that can play the run. When I look at these PFF scores, it's like, look at that run. You got all these guys that can play the run, that can tackle. And that's without their best linebacker. This team's deep. You know, they suffered some injuries. That defense still only giving up 13 points. Make sure you join us on Monday nights for the Main Event Football Show with Main Event Mike. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to grow that thing. Jump on over there to the YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. This show's brought to you by the NFL shop right down there at the bottom. You can use that QR code and support the page by getting one of them fancy jerseys. And where are you, Sam Laporta? They haven't used Sam Laporta that much, but the thing is that's okay. Run the ball. Use the strength of your team. Because when I look at those scores, this is exactly where you want your scores to be. The highest scores are your best players. Penei Sewell, Zeitler, Ragnow, Decker, and then even Graham Glasgow with an 86.8 pass blocking grade. Your best players are your offensive linemen. And when your offensive linemen are being your best players, that's why Jared Goff gets to get in there all nice and cozy. Nice score. Nice score for him. He had one bad pass. He had one bad pass. And it's like, what are you going to do? I mean, I love our fan base. Our fan base crucifies this guy on a bad game. And when he plays good, they give credit to everybody else. It's a thankless job being a pocket quarterback that reads defenses in the NFL. Poor guy. But it's PFF Tuesday. Broadcasting live into the 53,000 person network of the Facebook page. And then right here, I wanted to put a shout out to Paul Jones and Jeffrey Addison, usually present and accounted for. This right here is our Facebook group right here. This is where you can join the conversation. Detroit Lions Main Event. And I'm going to stick this bad boy right into the comments right now for you guys. And Paul Jones, I think, is taking this thing to a new level. We got a nice organized chat going on in the back, and we really want to help grow this thing right here and join the conversation. And that's where you can join the conversation. You know, you can be like John, and he's tired of the complainers complaining about the Lions complaining on here. All right. Okay. You know, we got some Homer rah-rah stuff. And of course, we're going to be posting stuff on our own page right there. Thank you, Gary. Look at that. Look at that. It's a beautiful thing. Usually I don't get to see the reach. And this is us right now on here. So right here is where you can join the conversation. I want to put a shout out to Joe Chapp and the boys over at Detroit Lions News and the JC Sports Network. Hooking it up. Put a shout out to the Huddle Sports Network with Bill Packer, Bill the Packer fan and Mike the Bear fan. We appreciate you guys. They're about ready to kick me off of here because Mike and Ken in the morning over there. You got Bears Homer Nation about ready to kick it off. And you guys can come over here to the YouTube channel if they kick you off of the Huddle Sports Network. We appreciate that. I love Bill the Packer fan. I love Mike the Bear fan. And you know why? Because it's faith, family, and then football. In that order. We got to keep our priorities straight right here. We appreciate everybody that watches this show. But you know, I don't like Bill the Packer fans' team, but that doesn't mean I have to hate Bill the Packer fan. I love Bill the Packer fan, but I don't like your team. Your team sucks. We're coming to get it. About ready to win that North again. Lions are still the best team. Faith, family, and then football. In that order. We use football to create memories. We use football to spend time with our family. We don't let football use us. And may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. And may the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again. Lion Villain Report. God bless. Peace out.
Hey, yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, hands open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we winning it maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never this way. Me indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity.